This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Are you watching these stories? The media doesn't get all the information. And they can't give out all the information, too, on top of all of that. Especially for you guys out there, it's really bad because the media can't pass on certain information publicly. They're limiting what they do. I don't know if you guys know that. But a story I was reading, I'll give it to you here, that the NFL is doing some serious restrictions on what reporters can report. I'll give you an example. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst, he goes, I think you know the changing landscape right now of the preseason. With no preseason games, no fans at practice, as we got into it, it just changed things. You know, obviously there's a certain restriction that are always placed on you guys as far as what you can and can't report. I just thought from a competitive advantage viewpoint, this was the right thing to do for, you know, the short term. And so on Thursday, they implemented that his team, that you explained the reasons for the change, which included players taking first-team reps, position battles, and lineup rotations. They can't report any of that. They can't talk about it. As we kind of got into the first 3 days of kind of seeing the landscape of what other teams are doing, the kind of information we're gathering, again, without 8,000 people at practice and 4 preseason games, I just thought we were a little bit of at a disadvantage. We wanted to kind of equal the playing field. So we certainly, our pro scouts have always followed the local beat reporters in all the teams that they cover. Certainly this year it's more prominent just because there are no preseason games and you have less to go on. Again, we are going to make decisions off that information, maybe or maybe not, but it's all helpful to us as we go through and attack the job as we always have to do. Again, it's very temporary thing. It's nothing permanent. I think it's 10 days we have left before this changes to the regular season reporting rules. We always try to make the best decisions we can for our football team. So you're seeing it there, how they're already limiting what reporters can and cannot report out there, okay? And that's the problem right now with all of this. So fans aren't really going to get everything. You know that when Gerald McCoy tore his quad, he did it in front of a bunch of reporters? None of them reported it. But guess what?
Well, obviously they want to keep their press credentials.
Okay, but wait a minute. Here's where we cause a problem, Bill. So all the reporters at the Dallas camp are watching the Cowboys practice. Gerald McCoy tears his quad. He's out. He's carted off the field. You know it's earth-shattering news for the Cowboys and their fans. No reporter can report it while they're there. So guess what happens? Minutes later, an NFL Network report comes out. Ian Rappaport reports that McCoy tore his calf and he's out. He got carted off. So all the reporters in the Dallas camp are like, yo, what the F, bro? So you got somebody in the building telling Ian what's going on, and you're allowing that to get reported, but while we're here, we can't report it?
It makes NFL, the channel, their thing to go to. And that's an unfair advantage, unacceptable. But are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised, but I'm disgusted.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because it's not fair to the guys that are working there. And I love Ian. Ian's a friend of mine. But he's got the hookup, and it becomes obviously unfair to those men and women that are covering the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it kind of gets,
You know what, though? Here, to correlate it further and connect it, you know how some teams are trying to control the media being them and not the papers and the radio station and whatever's covering outside. They're trying to control it, and have all the media control. Mm-hmm. So I'm not surprised, and they're actually kind of using this as an excuse to okay their action.
Well, We'll see.
Right?
We'll see if it becomes a permanent thing next year.
Well, no, you heard it from the Packers GM that once we get through these 10 days and we get under the first game, things are going to go back to normal.
Oh, well, no, but it goes no. But his normal, what he means by it goes by regular season rules, which means you have no access because you don't have any access during regular season. You only get to walk in, take rolls, see who's there, and then you leave. You only see the first 15 minutes of practice when they stretch, and then they kick you out. So, I was telling one of our listeners and followers, I was predicting that I told them, hey, the NFL is going to put some kind of kibosh here on information. So, like I said, you're really not going to find out about teams until we get to the regular season. That's just the way it is. One more story.
And anything they let you know, it's going to be through the NFL Network, right?
Yeah. But NFL Network is still screwed up because you're never going to get objectivity from the NFL Network because they won't tell you about bad things. They're only going to tell you about the obvious stuff that isn't necessarily, that damaging. You know what I mean?
Fluff, in other words.
Yeah, fluff, exactly, because that's what you're going to get from the league channel. You're going to get fluff. They can't really go out and say, oh, that guy needs to be fired. They can't do that.